Garage.
Yeah, this is another episode of UFO Garage.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Joe, and this is where we talk about UFOs, aliens, and all things weird. Yeah. I like it. New setup. It's funny how, like, every platform has a different, like, camera, like, you know, view. And it's like, some of them are real tiny, and so I gotta move it this way. And then some of them are, like, real long and like squinty, so you gotta, and this one's like huge. You can see almost everything. You can see my national championship Texas Wheaties box right there. You can see my horns. You can see my little alien guys. You can see my Van Halen records.
Oh yeah, dude.
You see my Area 51 patch back there. It's so funny.
I feel like I am discovering a lot more things about your room right now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've got the Astro Kitty. We still need to get that thing scanned and thrown on a T-shirt, by the way.
I know. It needs to happen. Fast. Real fast.
Heck yeah, dude. Let's schedule it. We'll schedule it for November 8th.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Sounds great. I don't know what day that is, but yeah, let's do it, dude.
Heck yeah.
It's always a good day.
I'm down. Hey, guys. It's another Two-Topic Tuesday. It's going to be a cool one. We were sitting back. Hey, Alabama Tide. Hey, those fighting words, all right? He said boo Texas. You missed it, I think.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Ben knows I'm sensitive about that, dude. I'm just kidding. But hey, we were sitting backstage and looking at some pictures, and immediately I was already like, yep, this is going to be freaking awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to get into this. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Well, so we had a couple of emails come through. We got a lot of great emails. We try to get listeners that submit videos and photos to come and talk about their experiences and give a little bit more detail about those photos. And we've got a gentleman, Daniel, joining us today to talk about some really awesome photos and some videos, dude. I'm excited, dude. Yeah, I'm excited.
Let's do it.
Let's bring him in. Daniel, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Man, I'm excited you're here, man. I can't wait to look at these pictures. This is gonna be great, dude. This is really cool. Thank you so much, dude, for sending those in. I mean, that's really awesome. I always love when we get to just, when people reach out to us and send us stuff, and then we get to sit down and have a chat about it, man. Like that's the best, isn't it?
Yeah. That's I appreciate you guys taking the time to do it.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, pleasure's all ours, man. I mean, you guys with the pictures and the stories and everything. I mean, me and Ben have seen a couple, strange lights in the sky and like maybe had some like kind of strange experiences, man. But like, I mean, that stuff's incredible. Like that's almost like a mind-bending thing, and like the thing that you drew. I mean, that's just the beginning part of it. I mean, that's just like to see that. Can you imagine, Ben, seeing that up in the sky, just doing its thing?
So, dude, I don't know what I would do. I think maybe I'd either run or I don't think I could. Certainly couldn't operate a camera. So Daniel, like, what went through your head when you saw this? What, like, do you remember what time this was?
Well, give us a little background. Give us a little setting. Where you at? What you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I live in the middle of the woods in South Carolina, in a little place called Sand Run. So it's in the middle of nowhere. And I've been seeing a lot of kind of crazy things. A little white ball that didn't move for 45 minutes, and then I watched it take off. And then I had a couple other little orb instances where I could I couldn't explain them things either, where I didn't think there were satellites, and I'm pretty sure I know they weren't planes or anything. But that one that I drew was the closest thing I've ever seen, and it was one of them. Yeah, it took me back.
Wow.
I was in the house. Ever since I saw the white ball, I got a weird habit of going outside when it gets dark, about the same, like dusk. And then I'll go outside, and I always got my binoculars on and my phone, which is like a S1 Ultra, so I got a decent camera on and everything.
Yeah.
So, but this night, my wife and stepdaughter, I came in and I was cooking them dinner, and then I made a joke when I was walking out the door. I was like, "All right, babe, I'm going outside to talk to my friends," talking about the UFO buddies and everything, just joking.
Yeah.
And I literally walked out my front door and walked down my steps and looked to the right, and I saw this thing coming towards me head on, just glowing like I can't even explain. Like it was glowing. Like the whole front of it was lit up, but not like a bright light. That's it from the back.
Yeah.
Facing away from me. And you can kind of see at the front where it's got that little tail going up, curling up. That's where the windows were. But yeah, I mean, like you guys are saying, that's why there's a 10-second video and like a 6-second video, is because I started recording it. And then when I started recording it, I could see that it was only a dot going across the screen like that. And you could see on the left-hand side, there's a plane flashing.
Yeah.
This one, the craft is the dot in the middle.
Oh,
the lower middle. That one is a star. Now, I hate how cell phones do it to where it was so super close. I could see the windows with my bare eyes without the binoculars. And then when I looked through the binoculars, I could see it even closer. But of course, when you record it with a cell phone, that thing looks like it's far away, but it was not.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude.
But as soon as I started hitting record and I saw what it looked like, my hands started shaking, and I couldn't focus on what it was recording. And plus I was like, it's just going to be a white dot. So of course I wanted to look at it through my binoculars more, but I caught them 2 little clips and I tried to edit it out the best I could. Not these are the original clips, but I couldn't get anything to bring out, of course, with this camera. But
yeah, it's hard on a cell phone camera. Those lenses are so tiny, like they're just not meant to capture as much light that you need. It's like you never try to take a photo or video of the moon, like it always looks terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, that the one thing about this camera is I can take really good close-up pictures of the moon, zoomed in, where you can see all the craters and everything on it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I got some really good pictures. I just put some on my little YouTube thing, some of the weird orb pictures where I do like a 35-second, what do you call it, the 35-second exposure, and you can kind of see how bright them orbs get and everything.
Yeah.
But this thing right here was the thing that turned my mind from okay, there's might be something going on to the world's going on.
Right.
Like that white dot I watched. Yeah. I mean, it completely. Like I'm still mind boggled.
So could you clearly make out the windows that are on the front?
Yes. Yes, the windows were clear as day. They were windows because the front of it was the only part that the light was coming from the interior. Like the glow I was seeing wasn't like lights on the outside. It was glow from inside. Like the dome was coming right at me. And I'm not the best artist. That was the best I do to kind of describe it. But it was like the front was kind of shaped like a football almost, and had the windows going all the way completely up the front of it and around the side of the front of it. And then, the ones on the side, there was a couple windows there. And in the back of it, I mean, when I saw it from the rear end, it looked like a car, like an old school car from the rear end of it.
Whoa.
It was like I used to have a 62 Ford Galaxy convertible, and it had the round tail lights and everything on the very back of it. Yeah. And it reminded me of that on the back of it. And completely silent. Yeah, completely silent, made no noise whatsoever. The only thing in that video you can hear a faint plane, and that's the plane that was above it. That one flashing.
Oh yeah, you want to play that real quick with some audio?
And on the paper, it has a scale to a large cargo plane. Like that's pretty massive, dude. Like that's huge, right?
Yeah, that is
See,
huge.
I live in between. I live in between a bunch of bases. There's like 3 of them around here. So when I started seeing like weird things flying, I'm assuming of some kind of military plane. But there's large military cargo planes that carry everything like overseas. The really big ones, they come flying over the house all the time, real low, because they practice from right down the road. I mean, not right down, about 30 minutes down the road is the airport that they take off and land. So they're always, cutting donuts up my house and stuff. So, so I see them all the time. That's how I was able to compare it. That little plane drawing was one of them cargo planes, but it was massive.
Dang. So is this something, I know you mentioned this started happening. I mean, has this been happening for years, or is this kind of a recent thing where you start seeing these orbs?
It was close to, I don't know, it was probably close to a year ago. I saw that white thing sitting in the sky in the broad daylight, and it looked, I mean, similar to what a weather balloon looks like. I hate to say it, but it wasn't a weather balloon. Like, I can zoom all the way in on it, and it had like, it sat in one spot for way too long for me to think it was a weather balloon. Like it literally, and that's how I noticed it in the sky, because it was clear for the most part at first, and then clouds started rolling in, but it never moved. It would stay stagnant in the same spot, and clouds would blow by it. And then 45 minutes later, because I was at the job site doing yard work for these people, and about 45 minutes later, just saw it do like a real quick zigzag move and then take off like it got shot out of a gun.
Whoa.
Dang.
Yeah.
And that was during the day?
That was during the day.
Whoa.
And then as soon as it took off like a bullet, then one of the Navy planes came flying by. So I don't know, I'm assuming it saw the Navy plane. I know it sounds ridiculous, but
yeah.
I got videos somewhere. I've been trying to go through I got videos of it, not doing the zigzag, of course. I missed that, but of it sitting in the sky. And I got videos of the Navy plane after it went over my head.
That's interesting, man. That makes me wonder. We'll have to ask somebody, dude. Like, I wonder if they can track them when they're just sitting still, or like, do they have to be moving for them to be able to see them? Like, like, are they emitting some kind of like frequency to where like they do just sit there and chill, and then once something gets too close to them, then they like bolt off?
Then because that makes sense. Like if they were moving, then they would be pinging radar data. I don't know how.
Well, yeah,
but like that makes
theoretically,
sense.
dude. As a doctor scientist, you're able to speak on these matters, dude.
100%. Yeah.
I heard the Navy plane that went over was like a gray one, and it had the blue Navy written down the side of it. Mm-hmm. And I heard that those were some of those planes are like a sonar type plane. So I just wonder if like maybe the plane was looking for it.
Yeah. Could be, dude. Yeah. I don't know. It's all speculation.
I know. It's fun though. It's fun.
I don't know.
Speaking back on that white object you were talking about, Daniel, I have seen something like that in Austin, like on the east side of town. It was. Yeah, I've got video of it too. Oh, did we lose Daniel? Oh no.
Oh no. Where'd Daniel go?
Daniel, damn. Man.
You mean we just said all that cool stuff and Daniel wasn't even here to hear it, dude?
Well, he just now popped out. I don't know. Can you see the backstage on your end?
No. It says you're in the show. Oh, everyone can see and hear you.
They can. Dang. Well, I hope he pops back in.
I know.
Well, anyway, I guess I'll finish that story. But the white dot, dude, I've got a video of that thing. That was weird.
It was weird.
It was just like. It's floating there, man. It wasn't moving.
Yeah. And I understand like the whole like it looks like a balloon thing.
Yeah.
But like it was kind of doing the same thing that Daniel's video was doing, where it just like kind of like is shape shifting or like bouncing the light off different. It's weird, dude.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go anywhere. Like, if it was just a regular ass balloon, it should blow like all the way down the street at least.
Yeah. This is that one. This is the video that I got. Oh wait, no, that's a different one.
If I was a balloon,
that's clearly I think that's a Mylar balloon, 100%, dude.
The one that you have.
Yeah, that's not one. I've changed my mind about it.
Just now, you just now changed your mind?
No, I was actually looking at these videos the other day. Shit, where did the one?
But you set that up so nicely. I mean,
know
I
I
appreciate
did.
your honesty and
Yeah.
stuff, but like, you really kind of had me on the edge of my seat for a
I
second.
know. I do have video of that one of the white ball sitting in the sky.
Let's see if I can make you a believer again.
Oh, Daniel's back. Shit. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say,
Believer.
how do you know? What makes you think it was a Mylar balloon? First of all.
Oh, well, the video that I was gonna show.
Uh-huh.
Because there's like two, and one of them's like dangling, and one of them's like up. And everybody that commented on the YouTube video was like, "Yeah, I've seen a Mylar balloon before." So I guess it's a little bit of social pressure.
But how long did it sit there?
For a really long time.
That's what I'm saying. If it's windy and it's just sitting there and
Yeah.
it's something as flimsy as just like a Mylar balloon, like, wouldn't it float away? Isn't that the whole point of a balloon? Is to be very easily moved by air?
That's
If
what I would think.
If you're in the sky and you're a Mylar balloon, you're not fucking just hanging out there, like, you know?
See, that's what I would think. This thing just sat there, man. It wasn't moving for a long time, but
Didn't go nowhere.
I think, dude, now it definitely looks like a Mylar balloon.
Does it?
It does to me.
I mean,
but
what
why
if
is it
you
so still?
How do we know that UFOs don't just look like Mylar balloons?
I don't
you know?
It looks like the number 20.
Like, and if you think about a Mylar balloon, like, what kind of metal is that? You know, what kind of weird, like, foily type metal is that you know they're making balloons out of? Where'd they get that kind of technology? You know, who asked them, "Hey, can you make this like can you make this?" And they handed them a piece of a UFO, and some guy at the circus was like, "I can do it." And he like fucking made this like crazy balloon without knowing like what the technology was. Like, I don't know. It came from somewhere, dude. What I'm saying is the Mylar balloons are a little suspicious, just like as a Mylar balloon on their own.
See how I started the video again? This was like 20 minutes later. I took another video, and it's still in the same spot.
Yeah, dude.
It's weird. It was weird. Anyway, Daniel, what are your thoughts on that? Mylar balloon or not, dude?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that one. I know that one I saw, like, that's what I'm saying, that the ship that I drew is the one that actually turned me to, okay, 100%.
Yeah.
But the balloon one, I mean, the white dot one that looked like a Mylar balloon, it's, you know, usually when the weather balloons are launched, they have like, I forget what they call them, but it's like a tail that hangs down, and it's got like a solar panel thing that's on it and everything that, you know, that does all the readings.
Yeah.
So usually when it's a weather balloon, you can see that, and I wasn't able to see that. And when I looked at it and zoomed in on my phone, it was just super creepy. Like, just how still in the air it was, and watching clouds blow by it, and it just literally just sitting in one spot, and it almost had like a black hue around it or something, if that makes any kind of sense.
Huh.
Which is why I think it stuck out so much for me to be able to see it.
Interesting. Like, I wonder if it was like surrounded by some kind of like invisible like field energy type thing, but it was like, it's like see-through, so you could still see like the black behind it, but it just gave it like this little, I don't know,
like just like in my pictures, the white dot is like, it looks like you took like a Sharpie marker and went around the edge of the balloon with a Sharpie marker.
Just
like
dude, that's crazy.
It just looked super weird. But that, and then I was after that one and before I saw that ship thing go by, there was an orb that I saw. It was just a glowing ball, and it literally looked like it was scanning the sky. And like I said, I'm in the middle of nowhere. So it's like I can see it from a distance, and it went by me. And then, like, the next time it came by, like 5 minutes later, it was a little closer to me. And then the next time it came by, it was a little closer. And then before you know it, it was directly over my head.
Whoa.
And there's a, and it went into a storm cloud, because there was actually a storm to my right where it was lightning and stuff. It went directly into that storm cloud. And I ended up catching a video of it when it came out the storm cloud, where you could still see kind of lightning flashing in the background and stuff. And then it went right over my head. But it was like so low where I got a slingshot. I could have hit it with a slingshot if I wanted to. Like, that's how low that thing was. And it was just like a bright orange. And I'd done a little bit of research on it, because there's a feeling I got when I was recording that thing was like a feeling I've never had before. Like, I'm like 6'3", 220 pounds, and not much scares me. But I heard cases after the fact, but I had never heard before. But I had the most, like, my knees were shaking. Like, all of a sudden it was fear overtook me, where I could almost hardly even stand. And
wow.
For what reason, I have no clue, because I'm literally just standing in the middle of my driveway looking at a glowing orb. But I literally went inside, locked my doors, and grabbed my gun. Like, and I really have no clue why. And then once I started doing research, I've heard of other people getting that same intense fear from looking at one of these orbs. And I don't know.
Yeah.
And I see, like, on a lot of other videos, it's really hard for them to describe how they're feeling. And I completely understand it, because it was just like I was instantly scared to death after I looked at it. And I really have no clue why. And that's embarrassing to admit, but that's how I felt.
Can you like, was there, I mean, can you account for like any missing time, or do you know for a fact that it was like back to back, like this was like a couple minute thing? Like, can you account for all that time, or like?
To be honest with you, I've thought about that a bunch, but I mean, I don't think there was any missing time. But it's hard to tell, because it just happened to be on a weekend where my wife went to the beach. So I was actually home alone for like that whole time. And I never really looked at my watch or looked at my clock or anything. So I really don't know 100%, but I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I completely understand that, man. Like, that's perfectly reasonable. Like, it's just, some of those stories are really fascinating. How people are like, I'm just sitting there, I'm hanging out. 1 minute I see this thing, and then the next minute I'm like in shock, and I don't know why. But then, like, I realize, oh shit, it's nighttime. I was here during the daytime. They just don't. They can't account for that time. But at nighttime, if you don't know what time it is, it all looks like nighttime, dude.
Speaking of, your door just opened up really spookily, dude.
Oh, that was Gizmo. Sorry. I'll close my door.
Oh, you're creeping me out. Daniel, I was thinking about this fear thing, man. And we've talked to a few folks that have explained the same exact feeling. And what I like to correlate it with is that feeling, but when a predator then becomes prey, where it's like this new type of fear that you haven't felt before. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, there's not much out there that scares me, but this was just like knee shaking. Like, I've never been so scared. And I did metal roofing for years. So I've been on top of like multi-story houses on like 8 and 12 pitches where my feet slip, like you're going off a roof. So I've been in really sketchy situations and never had like a fear like that. It's really hard to describe, but it was almost like you're at gunpoint. You know what I mean? Like you're staring down the end of a barrel, somebody's about to pull, and somebody's going to pull the trigger on you. Like, that's kind of like how it felt, which was just like a feeling I've never had, and especially for there not to be a real reason for me to have that fear.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, man. So what are your thoughts, man? Do you think it's ours or do you think it's aliens?
Man, I don't know, because like the orb, I can't explain like how those could be ours. And I don't even know what the orb is. I mean, it looked like a decent size, but not like ridiculous huge. I've heard like the stories where they were talking about maybe like flying saucers or something, like whatever they used, the anti-gravity thing they use, like it lights up and goes around them. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's a craft in the orb, but if it's something like that, then that to me is an alien. It'd have to be alien.
Yep.
That ship that went by, that with all the windows on it, that one is really interesting to me, because if it's ours, then that's what me and my wife were actually talking about this the other night. Because I was like, it's like three different scenarios. Either it's, or two different. Either it's alien. No, I was right. Three. Either it's alien, and it's from a different planet, and it literally just came right over top of our house, or it's the future hypothesis or whatever. Maybe it was us from the future because of the technology it was using, or it's us now and we've literally figured out anti-gravity and just nobody knows yet.
Yeah.
And either one of them possibilities to me is mind blowing.
I always think it's interesting. Like it's an interesting thought that like aliens would have windows. Like, are they looking outside? Like, what are they? Or like, do you think like by that time, dude, like they should just be able to kind of see through? Like they're like, we're already seeing like aircraft, right? Like today, well, I guess it still has a window on it, but a lot of it is just like screens, right? You're not actually looking out of a window. You're looking at screens at everything around you,
Right.
So like, it's always interesting to me, like even like old photos with like UFOs with windows on them. Like it's so like, it's so human.
Yep.
It's such a creepy thing to do. Like if you're like this advanced culture that could literally put today we have like this filmy tape that you can just stick on things and it turns into a TV, dude. Like it just blows my mind that you wouldn't just line the inside of your ship with something like that, or have the technology to be able to view through your ship. And like the windows always creep me out. Like it's such a creepy part of UFOs, because it humanizes whatever it is that's inside that craft, possibly piloting it. It's a very like humanizing element to have on a vehicle, is a window.
Ooh.
Yeah, because you're like, something's trying to look out these windows.
Yes, dude. Yes, it's very creepy. It's very creepy, and it's like if you have this thing that can communicate with you without even having to, without you even seeing it, like what are they looking at up there? What are they looking at?
What are they looking at? Also, like, it seems like glass windows or even plexiglass windows seems like pretty low tech. I wonder, there's got to be a better way to see through stuff with technology that you could travel from star to star. Like, there's got to be a better thing than glass or plexiglass,
Yeah, it's
to see through stuff.
Dude, I don't know. But hey, that's something that you can think about and be like, all right. So like we view things with our eyes and there's other senses. But if these things have windows, they're also viewing things through their eyes still. So, like even if that is you in the future, it's like, cool, we still get to see stuff. Because sometimes people talk about like not being able to like have certain senses. And I'm like, whoa, that's so crazy. Like I have all mine, so I can't imagine a world that's like different, I guess,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to gain more senses without losing any of my current senses, because I think they all rock.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. Senses are cool, man.
They are cool. So, dude, Ben was asking you, I think maybe about like the primal feeling that you had, like whenever you encountered this thing. Does the feeling like, do you like just ever like randomly just get like a chill up your spine, like just you just think about it, like Would you want to see it again? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it just as close since then. Another one do the same thing. There's like I said, I've got a few different videos of them literally going directly over my head, and one of them is going over my head, and you can also see a plane passing, so you can compare like how close this thing was compared to the thing. And I never got the feeling from them. It was just that first one that I saw, and that gave me that feeling, and I've never had that feeling since. It was just that one, and that's the part that's just it's so weird to me. It was the closest one to me. Like the other ones weren't as close, but they were, pretty well close. But that one was the closest. Maybe that has to do with it. I don't know. Maybe if like the thought crossed my mind as I'm recording it. I was like, if I'm recording this thing and this thing is some kind of alien technology, it probably knows I'm recording it. And maybe that kicked in, but the way it kicked, the amount of fear that hit me is just undescribable. Like I've never been so scared where I almost collapse. Like, you have to hold on to something.
Yeah.
And another weird thing when I see some of these orbs is like, again, I live in the middle of nowhere. We have crickets and everything. If you ever been outside in the middle of the country, it's loud. Like there's bugs and all kind of things. But then when these things get close, you don't hear anything. Like it's dead silent, like eerie silent.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's a theme for sure that we've heard. So it's awesome that that you know about that. There's a lot of people that talk about that.
I got a Great Dane that stays in the house, but I let him out in the backyard. And a lot of times when I'm outside, he's out there in the backyard, and he barks, and it'll echo through the woods when it's going like that. That's how. I mean, it's just eerie quiet,
dude. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the silence thing, man. Like,
a lot of people talk about that happening with like Bigfoot sightings too, not just like aliens or
yeah.
The UFO sightings who knows what it is? Maybe they're all the same, right?
Tammy was saying something kind of cool. Like, what if the windows aren't for them? What if they're for us?
That's just as creepy.
Yeah, I know, because they, she say they do want us to see them. So like, if they did want us to see them, I guess like maybe they don't, maybe they travel through the universe or whatever dimensional shit, whatever you want to say, however the hell they get here, right? What if they don't even have windows? Just when they get here, they're like, all right, put the windows up, and poof, like it's just, they just appear, and it's just for us.
Yeah, I mean, another thought process is there's the Congaree River is not too far from our house, and this thing kind of, I mean, I can almost see this thing being underwater, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I've heard of these things coming out of the water. I'm like, they got them boats with the glass bottoms where you can look down into, who's to say
yeah,
this thing wasn't underwater or something. I don't know. It still blows my mind, but to watch it go by in front of you, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it.
Ben always said something cool about like, how people are interested in history and want to know history, so like if they're from the future, isn't that what you were talking about?
Yeah. I mean, like that's like this innate feeling that I think all cultures are interested in. Like that's the one thing like almost everybody's interested in at some point is, hey, where do we come from? What's our history? How did that thing happen? Who's lying about this? What's in our textbook? Let's go check it out for ourselves. I mean, I think we talked to Michael Schratt about this. We mentioned him, Daniel, the Dark Files photo. What you're drawing reminded of us of is this particular craft. And when we interviewed Michael Schratt, I don't know, was this like last year? I think that's when we talked about this, is because he got the same sense that from this case that it felt like this was an observation ship, to where it's almost like like a charter bus taking people to go sightseeing and go back through history to witness stuff like through the windows.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, if you had the technology to do it, you know, if you're like, man, like what was going on, you know, whatever in the 1600s, and if you had the technology to do it, why wouldn't you just go see it? It makes sense. I know I would. Yeah. Weird but simple human beings, though, Benjamin.
Yes.
I know I was really glad, though, when I looked at that thing with my binoculars. I was really glad that, because I could see the windows with my bare eyes. It was close enough to where I could see the windows. And I have these binoculars, which are pretty decent binoculars, and I was staring at it, and I was more focused on the front of the ship at first, more than anything. And I just kept telling myself, please don't have anything standing in front of one of these windows.
Dude.
Like, I would have lost it. I was super glad that I didn't see anything in front of the window.
Oh, man. I couldn't even imagine. I would lose my mind.
They walk by really fast, like.
Yeah, you just see it through like 4 windows real quick. Oh, that'd be so creepy.
On the last window, he moons us on the last window.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I could pretty much deal with any of the aliens that's supposedly around here, except for the one. I can't deal with those mantids, those praying mantis looking things that people say they see.
Yeah.
Screw walking up on a 10-foot praying mantis. Like, they can stay wherever they're at.
Yeah, man. I know. I used to feel the same way. Like, how creepy. Like to have a mantis standing in front of you. But isn't it weird though how like in a lot of these stories, like the mantis is always like the cool one. Like he's always like just staring at you or something, like still creepy as shit. But dude, Daniel, have you ever heard the stories of like mantis actually like dressing up in costumes?
Yes, I've actually heard them. Yeah.
Dude, how strange is that? Like, you know, some of these experiencers say that like, yeah, they tend to have a sense of humor. Like they understand humans and like, you know, the way that they are. And so they do that to make, you know, them comfortable. And even when it happens, they're like, it's still the weirdest thing ever. But for some reason I did feel comfortable, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's what I have heard about them. You know, I don't know if there's really mantis. I sound kind of crazy acting like it. But anyways, I've heard from different stories and everything that they are like the medical ones. Or whatever, like they'll actually bring peace to you. Like some of the people that have been abducted, like it was actually the mantid that calmed them down telepathically or whatever, and that the mantid was the one doing like most of the medical procedures, is from what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've heard too, man. Yep. You know, that's what I've heard too.
So maybe they are cool, but they just need to.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, still like, yeah, stay over there, dude. Like.
Like, I got pictures of praying mantises and all kind. Like, I think they're the coolest thing, but I just cannot picture a 10-foot tall praying mantis like walking up on one of them. Like that'd be frightening.
Dude, I know, because most of the pictures that you see of praying mantis are either like them doing something cool or them eating the head of something. Like, and it's like, you know, that's the only kind of perspective I have on the mantis is that it's like doing something cool or it's like eating head first. Like, and that's just, I don't know, like. Yeah, that would go through your head immediately, right? You're like, oh shit, he's either gonna strike a cool pose or he's gonna eat my head.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah,
and like all the colors, man. I've been hearing about all these colors. Like these mantises can be all different colors, like of the rainbow. And like some people are like, yeah, the mantises that show up to me, they're like a color. I don't even know what it is. Kind of a color. They're like it's a purplish. Yellowish, greenish. It's like
that's cool.
You're like, did you just say all the colors? Because that would mean black. And they're like, no, not black, just like color. Crazy. Like, can't even explain it.
Like the chameleon paint job,
dude. Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Like iridescent, maybe like reflecting, kind of like the inside of an oyster shell.
Depends on how you move, you know.
Yeah, man. Ooh, that's fun. That's
fun.
I don't know, man. I think the mantis would be frightening at first, but as long as he's not as long as he's not gonna eat my head, I think I could be cool with a mantis. I think I'd be all right with it.
maybe if he like warned me before he popped out the woods, like telepathically, I'd be okay with it. Maybe if he
Yeah,
was like,
dude.
"Hey, dude, I'm about to pop out on you, so don't freak out." But if I just turned around to staring at a 10-foot mantis, I'm gonna lose it.
Yep, man, dude. I know. Oh, I've always said, why can't they just warn you ahead of time? Like,
Just give me a little heads up.
yeah, just let me know. It's cool. I mean,
I
like,
want-
I wouldn't mind meeting you, but don't, dude. Just why are you always being weird? Stop.
I wonder if they like can't help it but pop out. You know, like that's just how they move. So they're like, hey, just to let you know, I move very poppy. So I'm a little jerky. Just letting you know, I'm not doing it on purpose. Just chill out.
Man. So,
Like-
Daniel, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, do you have an opinion? I mean, do you think something like this, right? Do you think something like this could exist? Like man could be working on it, you know? I mean, there's so many different things. Or what was it? The Project Horizons in like the 50s, and they were like, yeah, by the end of the 50s, we're gonna be launching 62 rockets to the moon. Like, and it became like this kind of like, okay, we're gonna bury this, and then like then rockets and stuff start becoming this thing. And you have the space age and the race, and supposedly we go on 69, and it's like that's such a long time away from the early 50s where they were like, yeah, we're going to be launching rockets to the moon. Like if a civilization, if a certain someone could have done that back in the day, that means that they were thinking about that like a long ass time ago, They're like, how are we going to get to the moon? Somebody in the 1800s was like, yep, I think we can do it.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
I don't know. I would have to say if I was a betting man, I would have to say it's probably coming from outer space, somewhere else. It's like that craft did look like it could have been human made, except for the fact that it floated by with no noise. But besides that, I don't know. Just from everything else I've been seeing, like even with these orbs, it's got to be more to it. Like in the future hypothesis, like I don't see how that could be a possibility without messing like all the time up. Like changing all kind of stuff. Even if they're not interacting with us, much, but just that could be just a disaster by itself, I would think.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I would say it's from somewhere else.
yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe dimension, another dimension. I don't know, but
It's definitely a possibility.
yeah.
I do like to give humans some credit. Maybe not like the general population, but like the people who know shit. Like I'm sure that there's some pretty wild stuff out there. And they always say that like when you receive a technology, like it's already been used by like the military or somebody else for the past 20, 30 years. By the time you receive it, it's old as shit. And like, I think about the thought of like, oh, man, they were talking about light speed and warp drives, way back in the day, in the 60s. You look at the Star Trek and stuff, and it's like these are ideas that are, no idea is an original idea or a thought, right? Like I think multiple people have said that now, and it's like, dude, like, okay, well, if that's the case, and this was like back in the 60s, somebody's been thinking about that, and somebody's been working on light speed for a long time at this point. And maybe we can't reach light speed, but I think maybe we have discovered comfortably how to move at least 10,000 miles an hour, right? I believe some of the craft zipping around, I think some of that shit is ours. Now, this thing right here, like that's as big as a big, larger than a cargo jet. I don't know, dude. Like it seems like it'd have to be, but again, I have no idea. But this thing is so crazy looking, and
Hundreds of people could have been on that thing, or hundreds of something could have been on that thing. Like it was huge. And that's the part that just trips me out. And what trips me out also is I kept looking for it to like blow up on the news, because it was 7:22 when I took that video in the afternoon. It just got dark. because that was before daylight savings time or whatever. So it got dark early. So it just got dark. It was 7:22, and it went over my house, and I went down my driveway after it went so I can keep seeing it going, and it went towards Columbia, South Carolina, which is the big town. Like it was heading kind of that direction. And I kept going, somebody's going to see this and report it, but I never saw any kind of reportings on it. And to me, that just blows my mind, because it's like, that's why I was glad I at least caught that little bit of a video. That way I knew, okay, I haven't completely lost my mind. Something was there that's odd.
Right.
Yeah, but I checked on like MUFON or whatever, and I didn't see any reports that day.
Dang. That's crazy. Have you made any reports?
Yeah, I have. I didn't on that one, because I'd made one on that white thing that I saw and on that one orb, and I've never heard nothing back from. I mean, I don't know if they're supposed. I don't know how all that works. I don't know if they're supposed to contact you or to ask questions or anything, but nobody ever did.
Interesting, huh? That's pretty interesting.
And another thing, I don't know how regular fireballs happen, but I've been seeing a lot of those lately too. Like just regular, like, I'm sure they're just meteors or whatever, but it's just, they're cool to see.
They are cool, man. They are cool, especially like when they like kind of fizzle and like little pieces break off.
Balls
Yeah.
of gas.
Yeah, dude, those are cool.
Floating balls of gas.
I've seen like green ones.
Yeah. Isn't that like the copper or the magnesium in or I don't know. One of those burns green. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, it was definitely something in the rock.
That's cool. Dude. Man, you got your little sound bar over there.
Yeah, dude.
0 APR, 0 down.
Giant blocks of stone.
Oh my God.
How fun is that?
That is a lot of fun. Daniel, you're the first person to be with us on the new streaming service that we're using. So there's some new things happening, man.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I can only focus on that right now.
It's like such the perfect episode for it too, because it's like new service, we get a sweet ass story, sweet ass drawings, sweet ass videos, like shit. That's so good, dude. It's so good. Man.
Yeah.
How many? I know you said that you've seen it a few times after that. Have you lived in the same area that whole time? Have you moved around at all, or is it all?
This has all been within this year.
That's
like within this year. It's crazy. Like if I send you some of the videos of the orbs, I'll do that later or whatever. You can 100% see it's an orb. It's not flashing. It's just solid white lights and coming over. But yeah, all this activity has been within a year.
Wow.
Damn.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would think that you've been seeing this stuff for years. I mean, you're pretty knowledgeable on. I mean, you know about the mantis stuff. Like that's
well, because I hit it hardcore when I saw that. When that orb frightened me that time, that gave me that feeling. I was like, I'm going to do some research into this and figure out exactly what's going on. That's when I I hit the internet and went crazy for a while and got into every other day. I was telling my wife a new theory. She was like, okay, what's the new theory today? I was like, well, there could be 10-foot praying mantises or lizards, or I mean, I don't know, Bigfoots everywhere. I don't know. But
so are you I don't know how to put this. It's gonna sound weird either way, but are you worried about it at all? Like,
no, I honestly think that I don't think it's specifically for me. I just think I look up at a ridiculous amount of time. Like ever since I saw that one, like every time I'm outside, I'm looking up. Even when I'm working during the day, I'm always looking up. Like I just think I'm seeing it. Like I don't think anything's out to get me or they're out to get me or anything like that. I just think it's happening more than you know, and people just don't look up enough.
Yeah.
Like they're just not paying attention.
Yeah, dude, I love that. I love that, man. That's something we say all the time. It's like, how often are people just looking up? Most people are looking down most of the time, you know?
Yeah.
You're not, you know, and it sucks because like it you know, that's just human nature. If you look up, you run into a lot of shit, and that sucks, you know, unless you're kind of like just hanging out or standing still. But Jesus, I get it, you know, like, yeah, you spend more time looking up, you're gonna see a lot more stuff. Just, you know, how many stories have you heard of like just something that keeps showing up, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's going on, just keeps showing up. You're like, what the hell is this thing that keeps showing up at my house, you know? And then nothing, and then one day there's like 4 hours missing out of your afternoon, and you're like, what the hell? And then the thing shows up again, and you're like, okay. You know, it's almost like, I don't know. But, you know, the feeling, like, you know, maybe that's important, that feeling that you got, right? Because maybe, you know, you were there, you saw it, and they noticed you, and they were like, all right, creepy feeling. And they like, maybe y'all locked for a second, you and whatever was inside that. And maybe they just felt like, this guy's not a threat. He's not doing nothing, whatever. We're not here for him. So this is a good flight path. It's in the middle of nowhere. We know this guy is just this guy, you know, he's going to maybe take out his binoculars, you know, whatever. And now they can fly over you and not view you as some sort of like interruption to whatever they're doing. Maybe you're just not even part of the equation and they're just going over you, you know? So that's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I've pulled up the maps on like Google Maps and everything to see like the direction some of these things are going. And it's always like the least amount of resistance, if that makes sense. Like there's really nothing out here. Like this is a very, very small town. And even my house, like if from above, like Google Maps, you can't even see my house. It's covered in trees.
Yeah.
So it's like if you were above in a plane, you wouldn't even know it was there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dude, I was recently in Asheville, North Carolina, like last week, 2 weekends ago. Anyway, just driving in those roads, man, it's like playing Doom. Like you can't, it's so thick with trees. So I totally, I have a visual for not being able to see, like, oh, it's very thick.
Yeah, and the good part about living out here is I get a real good view of the sky because it's not really, the city lights isn't messing with it, the light pollution or whatever. So like even with my cell phone, I can get pictures of all kind of pictures of the stars and everything. They come out real clear. I mean, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You got to get you one of those night vision monoscopes, man.
Oh, trust me, I've been looking at them. They're like $700-800 for the good one.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
Yeah, that's why for Christmas I got a pair of binoculars. I was like, that works for me. Binoculars and a telescope. I can't figure out the telescope, but the binoculars I work with them good.
Yeah, man, and like the telescopes that are like pretty badass. Like you can just find stuff on your phone and it'll look at it for you. Like that's crazy. They're so expensive, dude. You know, you're like, I want to see I want to see the Andromeda Galaxy. And you just put it in your phone and the whole thing just moves and like, all right, look, you lazy son of a bitch.
Yeah. Because even like the one I got, like if there's a full moon, I can focus it on the moon, and within like 15 seconds, the moon's moved just enough out of frame to where I got to readjust I got to move it over a little bit.
Yeah,
so
dude.
It's a pain in the butt.
It's crazy, like, because I know, like, looking at planets and stuff, like when you're looking at Saturn through the telescope, you just like watch it move the whole time. It's just so cool because when you look up without something magnifying it, it's just all staying there. It's so fascinating to be able to see something kind of up close and moving. But I don't know, I guess it's out there on that dome somewhere.
Yeah.
On which dome?
I don't know, whatever dome is surrounding the flat earth.
Oh, that's right.
And all those like little tiny shadows from the moons and stuff that I can see through the telescope. I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of the rabbit holes I found whenever I was going through the aliens too. I was like, "Hey, baby, you know the Earth's flat." And she's like, "Get the hell out of here."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I can't go with that one. That one doesn't work for me."
It's a little too much for me as well, man. You know, but those guys, I mean, you know, they really do give it the old college try. I mean, there's you know, they have some good points until you listen to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about talk about it.
Yeah,
And you're
exactly.
like, oh,
It's like these fireballs that are coming out of the water. I mean, where are these fireballs coming from? The meteors, you know, like none of that makes sense.
yeah. I don't
The
know, man.
meteor part of the
Balls of
dome.
gas.
So I'm working on the timing with that thing. It's jarring because it's your voice, so it sounds like you're saying it. The soundboard thing.
Over and over, dude.
Yeah. Okay, I'll stop.
You've only done it twice. That's not bad.
Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, it's getting to that point for me. We've got a 5-month-old. We're trying to figure out the sleep schedule thing. So I want to be ready to help the wife out when she needs. So I've got to hop off for the night. But Daniel, dude, thanks for coming on tonight, man. I really appreciate you.
Dude, yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We'd love to see some of those little orb videos too, man. That'd be great.
Yeah, all right. I'll send them to you.
Heck yeah. Then you come hop on another Tuesday and we could talk about the orb stuff. Yes. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. We'd love to have you back. That'd be great, dude. That'd be really good.
All right, cool. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Man. Yes, sir. Hey, man. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you. Later.
Peace, dude. Yeah, Daniel.
Dude, I love that. I love that.
That dude's awesome, man.
That was so good. I love it, dude. I love like I love like just when people email us because it brings you down that like I always feel like it brings me down that original rabbit hole that I found like as a kid when I'm looking into UFOs and stuff. You just get the sense of like, dude, I don't even know. I just saw this thing. I can't explain what it was. I didn't even believe in UFOs, you know, and then you're like, yeah, there was once a time, right? You know, a lot of times, like when you hear some of this stuff, it's like already from a perspective of knowing what's going on or like having a grasp on like the vastness of the topic, you know, and there's a lot of like knowledge within the topic, but I always love it. Like when it's just like an email with some cool pictures. Yeah. Like those are so good, dude. I love personal stories.
It's refreshing. Yeah. And it takes me back, dude. We're so far down this rabbit hole, man. And we're like, I mean, there's gotta be a term for that. But
yeah. Like sometimes it's just nice to hit the basics, you know?
Yes, dude.
It's like, yes, because that's what gets you like, that's what gets the brain like really cranking again. You're like, okay, now I can take this information that I know. How can I apply it to this? Like, at my own beginning steps and work through stuff that I may have just glossed over because I'm consuming so much information. It's hard to like remember, and also jogs my memory too. You know, like, oh, I remember we were talking about that one day. Okay, cool. Yeah,
dude, I love it. Well, we have a couple more, dude. So Chase, he sent us some stuff. He said we could talk about it tonight, but we just didn't get to it. So maybe we can do it next week.
I'm totally down. Totally down.
Dude. Hell yeah, I love it, bro.
Maybe we can get into it on Thursday a little bit too.
Maybe we could get into it. Yeah, we don't have a guest on Thursday. So
yeah, it's a good old thirsty Thursday with just you and the boys. All right,
yeah, dude. Let's
go, as in like the listeners.
Oh, okay.
If you hear any noise, it's just me and the boys.
Yeah. What does he say? Get down.
You gotta get in the band.
Sorry.
Dude, hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
well,
man.
Thursday's gonna be fun.
Thursday. I'm already ready for the weekend.
Have you seen the Atom Project yet,
dude? Yes.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Okay,
yeah, let's talk about those alien photos or those UFO photos, and the Atom Project, dude, because we just did a little time travel thing the other day, and it was like, Hell yeah.
It dovetails completely into the time travel thing.
Yep.
Dude. Okay. Well, I'm gonna watch it again, just so I can refresh. But dude, yeah, I'm stoked. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, man. You know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of UFO Garage. Hey, we're gonna talk to y'all on Thursday. We're gonna be here. I'm gonna be sitting on this box chair.
Yeah.
Ben's gonna be over there sitting in his office chair, and we're gonna be talking about a little more time travel stuff, maybe the Atom Project, and looking at some UFO photos. It's gonna be good times.
It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna be thirsty.
And it's gonna be Thursday.
We're gonna Thursday. It's Thursday. We might be shirtless.
That's right, Thurston. Get funky, baby. Hey, I think we're out, dude.
Yeah, bro. See you Thursday, bro.
Thursday. Peace.
UFO Garage.